Hello, this is the TradeSite US Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Tuesday, the 9th of April, 2019. So we approach tax day. Next Monday is the 15th. That's tax day here in the US. By the way, tax day is often a turning point in the markets. If the market's been heading down in the tax day as people sell to pay their taxes, it often bounces after that. If it's been on the rise ahead of that, because people are net investing 401k extra money for the prior year, it often tops out. So just be aware of that because we're getting close to that next Monday. In the meantime, markets gapped down a little bit today and didn't do a lot. S&P was only up 3 points, so it's a pretty dead day. Again, as we've been seeing here, let's go through the major daily charts. This is the ES front month futures contract, daily chart of the broad market in futures form. Let's go through all the daily charts and go from there. Crude oil up $1.38 to 64.46. Gold up $6. S&P cash gains 3.03. Nasdaq 100 up 20.90. Approaching, and this is a V-bottom cup, approaching the all-time highs on the Nasdaq. I gotta say we're getting within range of that. The SOX up 3.73. Biotech's down 19.40. Russell 2000 down 3.53. So the Russell's actually down in the middle of all this. That's interesting. Some of the biotechs. The VIX up 36 cents. Still bouncing off that risk line from that 13 buy signal. The Trin 0.79, a very low close on the trend, and the 10-day moving average dips under 1 for the first time in a while. Remember, if that 10-day gets to 0.85, that is a sell signal on the broad market, just like it was last year at the top. NASDAQ volume, 2 billion shares, doesn't really matter. Here's the advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ, negative 141. So even though we were up a bit on the NASDAQ today, 20 points, more stocks slightly down than up. On the New York, it was plus 71, so just barely a few more stocks up than down. Google loses $3.17. Apple up $3.10. Netflix down 408. Amazon gains $12.58. Tesla down $1.76. Facebook down 79 cents. A lot of the big stocks down today, even though just slightly. Goldman Sachs up 16 cents. That's almost nothing. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, loses 44 cents. And the Dow was down 83. In terms of intraday action, unfortunately, as bad as Friday was, this was not much better. We did extend out in the last 20 minutes of the day, which doesn't mean anything because you're done by then. So we gapped down and pushed lower for 10 to 15 minutes. At one point, I thought, wow, this is going to turn into something. We're going to have a move here. And then instead, stalled out. Nothing happens. And we spent the rest of the day drifting back. It took until after lunch just to drift back up and fill the small gap. We never quite filled the Friday's gap up on the ES. If you look at the NASDAQ side, we did. That was the low of the day. Here's a look at the NASDAQ. So here we gapped down, pushed lower, filled the gap from the prior day, gap, and then turned back up. And by going into lunch, we had filled today's gap as well. And then it was in the afternoon, we kind of drifted up out of the range. So the ES looks worse, of course, than the NASDAQ from that perspective. In terms of economic data, on Tuesday, we've got the NFIB Small Business Index at 6 a.m. Eastern Time, which is really early. JOLTS job openings at 10. IBD tip economic optimism number, and 2 Fed members speaking tomorrow night. We've got CPI ahead and other things coming out later in the week. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading